A black van creeps through the silent streets of North Korea. Two men step out, hearts pounding, and walk towards a staircase leading to a dark basement. Door creaks open, revealing a luxurious meeting hall. It's one of the most secret places in North Korea, hidden underground. Three of North Korea's most powerful officials waiting inside, ready to sign a trillion-dollar deal that could reshape the world. Sitting across from them are our two guys, a chef from Denmark and his friend pretending to be a rich businessman. These two are fooling everyone in this room. It's all a lie. How did a cook and a fake tycoon have infiltrated the world's most paranoid regime? With the darkest secrets now in their hands, can they escape alive? This isn't a movie plot. It's a true story of the mole, the man who spent a decade penetrating North Korea's inner circle and lived to tell the tale.
Ulrich Larsen grew up in Copenhagen, Denmark. To become a chef, he spent his days crafting delicious Danish dishes, but his mind was often far from the kitchen. Ulrich had a burning curiosity for the parts of the world that remained hidden from most people. And one country, in particular, had captured his imagination was North Korea. North Korea is a country that doesn't let many people in or out. It's hard to know what life is really like there. Ulrich's fascination with North Korea grew after he watched a film called The Red Chapel by Danish director Mads Brügger. The film, which showed Brügger's own journey into North Korea under the guise of cultural exchange, inspired Ulrich to consider his own expedition into this secretive nation. In his quest to learn more, Ulrich discovered the existence of the Korean Friendship Association in Denmark. Also known as the KFA exists in many countries, including Denmark. Its job is to tell good stories about North Korea to people in other countries. Ulrich saw the KFA as a potential gateway to understanding more about North Korea. He began attending their meetings not because he supported their cause, but because he wanted to find a better way to see what North Korea was really like. As Ulrich delved deeper into the world of the KFA, an idea began to form. Inspired by Brügger's film, he decided to reach out to the director himself. In 2010, Ulrich sent Mads an email proposing a bold idea, a new film where Ulrich would go undercover, infiltrating the Korean Friendship Association to gain unprecedented access to North Korea. Surprisingly, Mads agreed. Ulrich was good at making friends. He was nice to everyone in the KFA and seemed really interested in North Korea. This made the other members like him a lot. Over a few months, Ulrich worked hard and gained their trust. Soon, he started to attend important meetings in the KFA. While all of this was happening, Ulrich was also recording everything on his camera. Every meeting, every talk, he caught it all on video. He told the KFA members that he was making propaganda videos for YouTube. He said these videos would show everyone how great North Korea was. The KFA liked this idea, so they let him keep filming. Ulrich kept this up for almost a year. Then, in early 2012, something big happened. Ulrich was invited to visit North Korea. The country almost never lets outsiders in, but Ulrich was going as a special guest. He was both excited and scared. His camera was with him, ready to document everything. But when he got there, he didn't see everything. The government only showed him the good things they wanted visitors to see. Even though he didn't see the full truth, Ulrich learned a lot. When he got back to Denmark, he kept working with the KFA. He went to every meeting and made more friends. This went on for 4 whole years, from 2012 to 2016. After all this time, the people in the KFA didn't think of Ulrich as an outsider anymore. To them, he was just another member who loved North Korea. But Ulrich never forgot why he was really there. During these years, Ulrich met someone very important.
This person's name was Alejandro Saudivinos, who was a Spanish political activist working secretly for the North Korean government. Alejandro was like a bridge between North Korea and the rest of the world.
He knew a lot of secrets and did a lot of work for North Korea. Ulrich worked with him very closely for some time in the KFA, and Alejandro started to trust Ulrich a lot. He thought Ulrich would be good at helping with North Korea's illegal businesses. This was because not many people wanted to work with North Korea. The United Nations had put many sanctions which meant North Korea couldn't do normal business with other countries. So, the country was always looking for illegal businesses to make money. Ulrich knew this was his chance to step deep inside the North Korean government. He and his filmmaker friend, Mads, came up with a clever plan. They decided to create a fictional investor to probe deeper into North Korea's illegal activities. They called this made-up character Mr. James. They said he was an oil billionaire. But the real person playing Mr. James was Jim. He used to be in the French army. After that, he did some illegal cocaine business for a few years and even went to jail for 8 years. Now, this man was a regular businessman, but he was willing to play the role of Mr. James and help Ulrich with his dangerous plan. This was perfect because Mr. James needed to seem like someone who wouldn't mind doing illegal things. With Mr. James ready to play his part, Ulrich's plan was set. He was about to take a big step, introducing Mr. James to Alejandro. In 2016, he brought Alejandro to meet the fake billionaire Mr. James in Oslo, Norway. They met in a fancy hotel. Ulrich was very nervous inside, but he hoped everything would go smoothly. They met, introduced each other, and a meeting began. During the meeting, Alejandro made some big promises. He said North Korea could make anything, weapons, drugs, whatever Mr. James wanted. He said it didn't matter if it was legal or not. North Korea has all of the tools and smart people to do it. He told Mr. James, "Through me, you can talk straight to the top leaders in North Korea. I can get you any approvals you need." The meeting went very well. Alejandro was happy. He decided to take Mr. James and Ulrich to North Korea. He wanted them to sign papers for their new partnership and meet important people there. A few months later, in 2017, Mr. James and Ulrich flew to Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea. Alejandro couldn't come because he got in trouble with the police in Spain for selling illegal weapons. For the first 2 days in North Korea, Ulrich and Mr. James just did typical sightseeing tours. They saw famous places and ate special food. On the third day, things changed. A car came to pick up Ulrich and Mr. James. The driver said they were going to meet some important people to finish their deal. This time, they didn't go to nice parts of the city. Instead, the car took a different turn, outside of the downtown, to a place tourists never see. It looked poor and run down, like a slum. The car stopped in front of an old building. Ulrich and Mr. James were led to a door of the building. It opened and went straight down to a basement. It was dark, and both men felt afraid. On the final step, a big door opened. To their surprise, inside was a fancy and luxurious meeting hall that was hidden under the poor neighborhood. Ulrich kept his camera on, filming everything. He was allowed to film because his position was so well. that they just thought he filmed for the propaganda video to show how great their country was. In the room, they met some very important people. They gave them 2 catalogs. One had prices for big weapons like submarines, tanks, and missiles, and the other had prices for different kinds of legal drugs. Mr. James signed a big contract with the North Koreans.
The plan was to build a secret factory underground in a hotel in Uganda, a country in Africa.
This factory would make lots of weapons and drugs.
Now that everything was on paper, the next step was to execute it in Uganda.
Ulrich knew that things were about to get even more dangerous. His secret mission was getting bigger and riskier than he ever imagined. 2017, Kampala, Uganda. The plan takes shape. An island in Lake Victoria is chosen for a secret factory. There, Ulrich and Mr. James met with North Korean representatives. They hatched a clever but very dangerous plan. Mr. James would buy an island in Lake Victoria. He'd then build a hotel there, making it look like a normal tourism business. But this was just a cover for their real scheme. They would send planes to Uganda pretending to bring aid for people in need. Actually, these planes would carry machines, workers, and weapons. All of this would happen in secret, right under everyone's noses. This way, they could set up a hidden operation on the island without anyone suspecting it. Planes will fly between Uganda and North Korea. They'll look like aid flights, but these planes will take weapons and drugs from the island to North Korea and bring back factory supplies and workers to the island. As months pass, the project grows bigger and riskier. The North Koreans, hungry for more, offer new deals to Mr. James. From 2017 to 2019, secret meetings happen across the globe. Spain, China, Jordan, Cambodia, and Denmark. With each meeting, more contracts are signed. Ulrich's camera captures it all, building a mountain of evidence. But by 2019, the dangerous game had grown too big. They had more than enough proof. Staying longer would have been suicide. Ulrich and Mr. James made a tough choice: to disappear and go underground. For nearly 10 years, Ulrich has lived a double life, a chef turned spy, risking everything to expose the truth. I highly recommend you check out the official documentary The Mole, Undercover in North Korea. Inside of it, you'll see all the hidden camera recordings documented by the mole, Ulrich Larsen himself. It is given in the description below.